And who wouldn't be believers? This squad you see on screen, they've got synergy with this draft. They've got the Mars Willow combo. They've even got the Mars plus Spartan Sven. They've got aesthetic synergy as well. There's a lot to believe in here for game 2, right, Blitz?
Yeah, and the odds reflect that as we went from
10-1 odds to
3-1.
3-1.
Okay.
Still the underdogs, but not that much of it.
That was unbelievable, if I'm honest there.
All right, well. Meanwhile, PSG.LGD, they threw us a curveball, I would say, with their last pick, Ame Bloodseeker.
I think I saw another Chinese team pick it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It was Vici? I think it was Vici that I saw pick it earlier. You don't gotta look it up.
What? Don't spoil my secrets, man. How do you think I come up with this knowledge 2 minutes later after Blitz says something? Come on, man.
Come on.
I have to think really hard. I don't contact the internet. I don't know what you're talking about. But well, I mean, why? What does Bloodseeker do? What does he do for you?
The percentage-based damage, I think, is great versus Sven.
Okay.
And what you need to do versus Sven is lock him down.
Yeah.
And just, like, keep him in place.
That is the ultimate kiting mechanism.
Yeah.
It's just
Plus,
saying you're going to hurt yourself every time you move.
Let me tell you, you need stuff on the ground to deal with Willow.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You need big area.
Uh-huh.
Just shoot it on the ground. Hope she gets hit by it. They have
Then on
good,
top
like,
of that-
they have good, like, target point abilities on the ground. Like, Sand King stun plus his Sandstorm, Disruptor ulti, Bloodseeker, Bloodright. Like, they have some ways to deal with her.
Yeah. I mean, they've got Kinetic Field with the Bloodright, which is a really cool combo. They also have the synergy of Wisp Bloodseeker, which with the new Wisp, I feel like it's super easy to make heroes tanky with your new Overpower.
I will say that I think this is the right decision to go aggro versus two of the weaker, I'd say, like, laning supports in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Disruptor is entirely single target based in the laning phase. Like, the way that both of your skills work, you're not really going to provide too much. The annoying part of it is you've got to be careful about the regen game. We should talk about the Lina versus OD and why they decided to pick that, by the way.
Okay.
Any hero that can't counter push the wave easily or efficiently really struggles against Lina. And, like, Lina can just... Oh, hold that thought.
Oh, do manage to get the nice
They got it.
Brambles. That hits Cygnus Nova in the back, too. So not only do they get the first blood on FY, but they also do some extra damage to the other support.
Yeah, and part of it, too, I think, is when you play Lina versus these, like, pseudo-range heroes, you know, like versus Queen of Pain, Storm, OD, is every single time they try to come up to launch one of their abilities at you, you're going to get right-click like 4 times in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the point stun on the ground, like if you Astral yourself, it's just an easy setup for a kill. And your range on all your abilities, plus the fact that you got a cast range talent, makes it really easy to set up around the OD before he can get any defensive abilities.
Outside of the laning phase, I also really like Lina against this Bloodseeker Wisp, right? Just the raw damage, potentially pure damage that's going to be coming out from the Lina. It's a good way to threaten this Bloodseeker who's looked at as kind of like a glass cannon.
Yeah, she's a very fast hero against what I would consider like a... I don't know, it's an odd lineup because it can play quick, and they want to because of the Disruptor, but it's... I mean, they have OD plus Bloodseeker as cores. Like, you're going to have to ask a lot of Ame in this game, I think.
Oh,
Chalice is just dead?
Chalice, what happened there? My sweet, sweet boy. You just go into the tower range, huh?
My sweet, sweet boy, huh?
I've been watching too much Thrax and Slacks. That's it's gotten into me. It's gotten into my vocabulary.
I lost 7 games in a row with Slacks yesterday. Don't talk to me about that, man.
Alliance does have a nice little setup here for their tri-lane telekinesis stun into Brambles. The Brambles is going to help protect them there from the Bloodright that was laid out. Actually going for the secondary stun rather than the Shadow Realm for the extra damage. They're going to try and finish off the Wisp here before he can jump away with the tether, and they've got him.
That's twice now.
This is an LGD duo that is certainly not showing the same kind of strength that they did in Game 1.
They are losing 2 out of their 3 lanes. And I thought Sand King would be fine against Mars.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
I mean, Sand King versus all melee heroes should be pretty free.
Yeah, like I don't think Mars is gonna suffer a ton, but like it's still, you know, you caustic finale and you can sandstorm it up, like, you know.
Sandstorm it up, boys.
How much is Mars really gonna do to you?
Oh, he has no sandstorm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's okay, just because you can play around sandstorm. I think caustic finale in the 1v1 melee versus melee is a much
I feel like you still want it for like
ability.
The game.
Yeah, you're gonna want it later for sure. Maybe he only goes 2 levels of caustic.
Who knows?
Just to win the lane, the lane that he lost, I guess. If he gets right click one more time, maybe the spear kills him. Just throw the spear. Just say screw it. Just kill the healing salve. You're happy.
You said that with so much urgency. Just throw the spear.
Yeah, dude. What are you messing around with? You won the lane. Kill his regen. You have. I love it. The early Morbid Mask on Mars, man. When every single swing of your spear gives you health.
Wow.
That is what Lifesteal does.
That is
Blitz,
very good.
Did you know that?
This is the hard-hitting stuff that I would not have thought of. I love when people bring up items. Did you guys know that BKB makes you invincible?
Thank you, JJ, for giving us the good lore of Morbid Mask.
As Darius bring the creep wave over, they're going to fight over the bounty runes. This is a very important fight that they're going to take because, I mean, this Wisp is already doing so poorly.
They could be in trouble. The telekinesis toss back with Madara coming in. And again, the double Brambles hit. Tega's pretty good at this. He's going to get the extra stun here on X-Nova. He does have a magic stick to heal him up a little bit longer. He doesn't have the Shadow Realm to protect himself against Ame. Madara is going to be able to clean up that other support kill, but they're both kind of low here, and Ame just keeps on swinging at them. But Taiga actually gets in front of him a little bit, body blocking to make sure he can't hit the Rubik anymore. But now he's going to try and do some damage to the Sven. Blood Riding just to make sure they can't go on him. He backs away. 5-0 right now. It is currently, so far anyway, a shutout for Alliance.
Yeah, and this mid lane, relatively even. I thought it was a Lina favorite, actually. I'm honest here. I think the last 2 times I've casted it, it was Lina favored, but never count out the mechanical skill, of course, it may be. As Taiga, gonna look for FY. He's going to bounce himself ahead.
And then they go on the Bloodseeker instead. Now that he's already used the tether, he can't help out Ame. The Bloodright is going to be able to silence them, but they were just throwing out physical damage at Ame. Might be able to finish him off here. They just need one more hit, but FY gets the second tether out in time to start healing salving, and now Taiga's going to get a bit low here. He's Shadow Realms for the time being. They are going to be able to get a really beautiful Storm Bolt to finish off X-Nova. They will go down. The silence onto the Dark Willow, but Ame really wants to kill, and Madara thinks better of it. Decides to go for the squishier support, but with maybe coming in another great Brambles from Taiga. Actually intercepts the OD, but he still managed to get the imprisonment.
Dude.
This should be the first kill for PSG.LGD, but they lost their Sand King. Twice now. I mean, that first death, there's no way that happens.
No,
but
after that, he's 0-3, I'm pretty sure. Click the Sand King.
He's 0-3? He died twice back to back and just...
During that time the top fight was happening, he just kept dying.
So he died, and then his second death was to Arena.
It was just right there, yeah.
He just used his Arena. How did he die the first time?
I don't know.
Chalice.
Chalice, you can't lose this lane. They gave you this lane.
They gave you the 1v1.
Oh man, this is rough. Because you're already losing the safe lane, and you'd be thinking like, oh, thank heavens, at least we have, you know, Sand King versus...
Dude, yeah, I mean, PSG.LGD, if they thought the lane was going to be bad, they would have done the merry-go-round of just, you know, let's just keep on swapping it up. But they're like, okay, we're getting out aggro tri lanes. Chalice is going to have a 1v1. That's okay. Okay, they're going to try and switch things up and move the support down here, but Boxy immediately just spears the Sand King to the tree. Now, Chalice does have a level of Sandstorm here, but Boxy already bought himself a dodge. Chalice, he's in trouble. He's going to be run down by the face boots of Boxy. A spear comes up. 1 second, not going to go for it. Instead, X-Nova, you can spear him to death, though. Dominating streak for Boxy.
Was that what you were hoping for?
Is that the fight you thought it was going to be?
Oh, that was rough. You go for the gank because your safe lane has already been crushed. And then that ends up happening is... this is what happens is the OD is starting to take a lot of damage on his tower. They do have a ward there for Taiga. They have learned from their previous game as X-Nova sees it coming the entire way through the ulti.
He just straight up Laguna Blades, maybe. There's no follow-up, though, from the Dark Willow. But I think that was kind of smart. Mickey just kind of prevented OD from being able to get aggressive on him.
Yeah, but this top lane, it's not like the Bloodseeker is a high level and is...
No.
thriving for this. He's only level 4. He has picked up his treads. His net worth is still okay. It's in line with what you expect from the Sven. It's just that these two side lanes or this mid lane and the bottom lane have gone way too well, especially this bottom lane as they're going to make a go on the top.
Throw all the spells out, but before the silence can land on them, Ame, the delayed stun will be enough to finish him off.
Smadara gets the last swing in. This bottom lane, he has, am I reading this right, about double the net worth of this Sand King.
Yes, he does. He does have over double his net worth.
And this was a pure 1v1.
Pure 1v1.
In fact, it wasn't for a second as the Disruptor came down to gank him.
Yep.
And they almost both died. This is getting...
As we could see an extra 1,000 gold from kills that he's gotten on the Sand King.
They might get another one here as X-Nova. Getting gone on here, the Brambles hit. And
Brambles lane in front of him. X-Nova's going to have to weave his way through, make sure he doesn't get caught, but still, the range attacks are enough, and Boxy actually makes his first rotation over to mid, catching Maybe's OD. Remember, Alliance is 11-1.
And we talk about how important this mid tower is. It's going to go down to 9 minutes. And normally the trade-off is like, okay, Boxy's gone even in his bottom lane. Now the Sand King will get a little bit further ahead. No, he's so far ahead that it doesn't matter where he goes at this point, Cap.
Yeah.
All the rotations are good.
And it's not, like Mars only speeds up at this point because now he has his Soul Ring to just 1-2 combo every creep wave or every neutral camp that's
He's
around
level 10
him.
already. Like who is meant to play against this?
Yeah, and the levels I think are very important as well because one of the bigger nerfs, I actually don't think he got nerfed that hard, but one of the bigger nerfs was the cooldown on your level 1 arena.
Yeah.
It felt like playing Mars before, it was always up. You could always just throw it out for any kill.
Only twice before has Chalice had more than 3 deaths by the 8-minute mark. That is...
On Sand King versus Liquid, maybe Sand King's not his hero.
I mean, so far, we're off to a real quick paces. It is 5,000 gold. Real early on, 11-1. Alliance, I mean... They're playing at a really quick pace so far against PSG.LGD. They don't look afraid whatsoever. They're really bringing it to them right now as they've got a stack over here. I'd imagine that Madara just wants to hit 6 and they're going to go for it. Mikkei's up here too, maybe trying to get something going here as instead he's just going to actually take the stack himself, get further ahead on the Selena who...
I mean, I'm just kind of laughing. I'm just surprised they're not giving it to their Sven because... You know, he had to aggro tri-lane.
Yeah, but they're going to take the tower with this lane up here. With this DD rune and take towers, put pressure on the map, slowly choke out the map. You know that OD does not want to play in this game and take early fights. Like, he wants to farm. Being able to cut off his farm by taking the mid tower and this top tower, it relegates both carries to the jungle, but it means that there's only space for one hero in the jungle.
Yeah.
So that means either the Bloodseeker or the OD have to risk being in the lane.
And that's just going to be opportunities for these great ganking heroes and Lina and Mars to catch those carries.
Bottom, it kind of hurts him to have those spirits out.
Yeah. Fortunately, they go away. He's got a fresh round to pop whenever he needs.
Yeah, they're actually baiting right now onto Boxy. I think maybe something's coming and they would be right here as Ame is level 6. This would be a huge backup kill here as Insania.
Rupture immediately just throws out the arena, goes straight for the Bloodseeker. Oh, man. Oh, dear. Burrow Strike with the, okay, the relocate. This should be enough to be able to kill Boxy, but the lead is going to come in, try and blow up the OD. They do finally finish up Mars, yes, but the OD has now died. Insania makes his way through with a Burrow Strike. They do manage to get an epicenter out, but the Sven is certainly taking enough to be able to deal with that. Now the God Strength pop, he just rips through that one. That's a triple kill for an Insania, and the fear.
Oh, the fear.
Taiga, he knew exactly what was going on in that corner. He didn't need to see it. He just knew the Disruptor's trying to get out of here, and I'm going to stop that TP.
That was perfectly read, and it all starts with the positioning. Boxy's like, you guys really want to take this fight? Like, I'll drop the arena.
Yeah.
Everybody was just kind of standing outside idle, and they were like, Ame, it was like a real Roman Coliseum, you know? They were all rooting for him. They're like,
you can do it, buddy. He's like, get me out of here. Help.
He's like, level 11.
Level 11 Mars versus this level 7 Bloodseeker.
Dude, he wasn't even 7. He was level 6.
He's got half his net worth. I mean, so one of the things that, I mean, look at that. It's just like, they're all trapped.
Trapped outside of it.
That is one of the great things about the arena. It's not just about being trapped inside. It's about being able to block people outside. And like, even if OD could lay in damage, you can't get through that wall with your projectiles.
Yeah. And if Insania was a quarter of a second faster and he stuns, he might even save Boxy's life, is the unbelievable part. And you might just get a 4 for 0 there, as this game 15-2, Alliance averaging more than a kill a minute. Very impressive pace that they just continue to set in this series. I mean, they're just bringing it to LGD at all times.
Look at this build. So we are talking about our Mars builds, and pretty much what everyone is going right now. You're going to go FaZe, Soul Ring, Vlad's. Then you're probably going to go Blink, Desolator. Like, that's just kind of like standard build everyone's going. Here, Boxy's actually going to change things up and go for, not the Vlad's, not completing them, and actually going for the Sange. Into Heaven's Halberd, I'm guessing, against OD.
Yeah, against OD and Seeker, right?
Yeah.
Both are fine. And SK, actually. It's just a nice status res game. Plus,
I really like the status resistance aspect against.
It's very underrated.
Rupture and, yeah.
As
Smoke gank, Insania really going for it here. The Burrow Strike to get him in position for the telekinesis to hold him long enough for the LSA. Laguna Blink combo that finishes off the Bloodseeker. Now there's mass rotations. X-Nova can glimpse him back into the Static Storm here. With the OD immediately, though, gets terrorized and won't be able to lay out damage on Lena. Lena's going to be fine. They're going to have the Burrow Strike on through. Insania turns around with the help of Madara. They're going to lay some damage out on these two, but they can't actually get on top of FY. Chalice sneaks away to Boxy. Does have his arena, though, and he's going to try and spear him to death. He actually gets stunned, but his Burrow Strike ends on the other side of the arena. That's why Madara tries to go for some cleave hits. Instead, he's now going to go for the Disruptor. Brambles out, keeps him held in place. Long enough for our carry to finish off this support of LGD. A Burrow Strike on it too. LSA, that's going to miss. A good, clean exchange there from Chalice, who gets out. This is long enough for Ahmed to now come in and clean some kills. Boxy tried to go for the TP out. Denied by Maybe with an imprisonment. Ahmed making sure they do actually get this kill on Boxy because they know how tanky he is before moving on to the next one, because they're all so low.
Quick.
He can just look for more kills. Good LSA there from Mickey, just trying to stall long enough that he can get into his high ground.
He actually got rooted, I think. Can you imagine if that ended up
just
getting
kept
a
running?
kill? Yeah, that would have been...
Because we know he could have. There was nobody nearby, but...
Yeah.
Oh, Epicenter. Is that going to be enough to kill Insania? It will.
That's going to be a pretty good kill streak that goes the way of the Sand King, who honestly at this point needs anything he can get. He is still almost doubled up right now. Is starting to finally get some items out on the map. Does have the Blink Dagger, a little bit tankier, as we see that the net worth. And this is probably compared to a lot of 4 positions too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yes, we are correct, as JJ confirmed. So he's...
He's on par with a 4 position right now.
Madara, he's thinking about it. There is a ward there from X-Nova. I love that ward, by the way. It's just so if anybody steps too far forward, they get easy glimpse plays.
They know if there's like a hefty invasion going on into their jungle at any point.
Yeah, you gotta love the warding game. Teams like this, like even when they're behind.
Yeah.
As both sentries...
You pretty much have a line straight along. Because you said, you know, like, you're going to get crowded out of your jungle, so with their vision, they have to secure some area that the Bloodseeker can farm safely.
You need 2 people to be able to farm at all times, as PSG.LGD, they are going to back out of this situation. I do like Ame's item choice too, the Blade Mail on the Bloodseeker. Like I mean, what else is he really going to get at this point?
Yeah, I can kind of feel that.
I don't think you ever want to just go, like, no item BKB ever.
Yeah.
But there's no real... mid-level item, I think, aside from this, that might potentially change the nature of the game.
Yeah, we used to see like S and Ys and stuff, but I really like the Blade Mail against the Lina.
Yeah, exactly. So,
okay, that Terrorize doesn't actually clip Chalice. They were hoping he would be forced to run out of his Sandstorm.
Yeah, but the idea behind it is when Lina Yules, you know, you just spam click your abilities. As PSG.LGD, they're under vision right now as the Sentry got dropped.
This is the OP part of Sand King right now. Successfully defending your towers while being super hard to root out of position. He just pops the Sandstorm somewhere in front of the tower.
You're not really sure where he is.
Yeah.
You don't want to, like, you don't want to hard commit
If you just
for that
run forward and commit, then he either burrow strikes you or he burrow strikes into the trees. Either way, you're not getting.
Yeah, they're going to go for the smoke here, though, as Taiga Running real offensively, but he is going to
Here
get
comes
silenced.
that epicenter, and oh, the Laguna Blade out. They're trying to finish off the Disruptor. He will take out for the Brambles. Mickey is quite low. They do have that Bloodseeker trying to chase after him as well. He's going to pop the Shrine just to make sure he has enough HP to finish off Mickey with a Blade Mail. They should be able to do it, but inside the arena, they're getting bounced around like pinballs, and Marauder is coming in straight for the throat. The Spear into the wall to finish off the OD as well. Ame so damn fast, and they're all so low, but Ame doesn't actually feel comfortable enough committing for so many of these kills because they know the danger. Madara in a corner with a God Strength that's going to turn around, but won't have enough HP to survive and lay out any damage onto the Bloodseeker. The supports will get out. Shadow Realm and Sand King Sandstorm TP out. Clever plays from both supports.
They do get 2 kills on the cores, but that was the buyback of the Sand King, and they lose the OD themselves.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like LGD's doing a good job keeping in the game,
yes,
given the network difference, but they're not, it also doesn't feel like they're quite getting ahead.
Yeah,
either.
they're just
not
kind
actually cutting down the lead.
They're keeping their head above water right now.
Yeah.
Which I think, considering the net worth lead and the score difference and the way that like the tower's gone, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Because you're hoping for like this one fight to turn out slightly differently, and then maybe you can bring yourself back into the game. It's just that the net worth lead between like your 3 cores and their 3 cores is so significant that it is hard to just break that. They just have items.
Yeah.
You don't. You saw though the Blade Mail Bloodseeker though, excellent. Just like pops it, runs in.
Yeah.
He gets like 4 or 5 seconds. It's his own BKB in a way because no one can really target him.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about the Lina. Like trying to chase after Lina and her getting like a full combo and killing him 100-0. It does mean when you have an advantage like this, you can really push the advantage and try and get all the bounty runes, but LGD do a good job securing, well actually it was 3 for 1, huh?
Yeah, that item is going to be massive by the way for the OD. Once he
Yeah.
gets his BKB, that's your huge power spike.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Halberd from the Mars is going to be massive. Counter the OD right now, which is what Boxy has and Blink Dagger soon.
The Blink's going to be really important. Being able to get to that back line, immediately blow somebody up.
Yeah.
You need to get to the OD because his ability to just Astral and reset the fights just makes, I think, your life a little bit too annoying as a Mars.
We're talking about like saving mechanisms. Like you want to get the spear into the arena wall. Like that's who your combo is very dependent on. If OD's outside of the arena, it's really easy for him to just be able to get the imprisonment on whoever got speared. And then it's just a full reset. Once again, the odds are now in Alliance's favor, as they should be. 21-7, 7,000 net worth lead here in Game 2 at 21 minutes in. They've got pretty good map control as well, a lot of aggressive vision. They're finish out that Tier 2 top. Tier 2 mid is probably in short order here. And Roshan is available to them. We'll see if they keep up the same kind of pace that they did Game 1. We're never stopping for the Roshan objective and just always going for the next tower.
That's so weird because it's the antithesis of what we know about Dota as they do have vision here. Boxy's just going to jump in.
Not going to latch onto the tree. Boxy doesn't get the clean initiation that he really wanted. He still has the arena though. Now that he's been ruptured up, he might need to use it here, but he gets glimpsed back and brought to his doom.
And that was the BKB usage and reveal by Maybe. His team just not really quite willing there to commit. As, I mean, that was such an aggressive move by Boxy. He had to have known without a BKB himself, he is going to get punished for that.
Yeah. Also, like, I feel like when you're this far ahead, when you go for a fight, there's no reason not to just commit your abilities.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm kind of okay with you just on a support like this, just going, popping the arena, killing that hero, and then, you know, you can either disengage or further push for more if you want to. I don't think you want to get greedy. Yeah.
Because now you're in a position where PSG.LGD, they're not bad off. They've got double BKB.
Yeah.
And Alliance, before Mickey gets his Aghanim Scepter or anything like that, these double BKBs are going to be really effective. We see how low the OD ult gets everybody to begin with. Once you commit that, you know, the Bloodseeker is running around at max move speed, just kind of like hyper speeding around the map getting kills.
Still a little bit more to pay off that credit card that is the Hand of Midas. Oh, there goes the arena. Farther up, they're going to be able to catch the Wisp, just trying to burst him down as quick as possible. They did have the imprisonment now. The Wisp is going to be super low. They pop the BKB to dodge that Storm Bolt, and now they have a Rupture onto Madara. And Madara does have a TP out if he wants to go for it. And he is going to go for it here as the rest of his team starts leaving him behind. That was an epicenter blown by Chalice, thinking the rest of Alliance was going to swarm forward there.
That's quite good for Alliance, right? You force both BKBs.
Only using one of your own.
Yeah.
Still getting a kill. Yeah. And now that you've got level 2 arena, it's not like there's a huge downtime before they can fight again. Just another 40 seconds. They almost have the Aghanim Scepter for the Lina, right? Yeah, just another 850 gold away from that item. That'll be, again, very big against the double BKBs that were picked up by LGD. So how does LGD make a full comeback at this point? You say, they're kind of keeping their heads above water.
I think this game is still pretty 60-40.
Yeah.
It is Alliance favorite, obviously, 6k gold lead, but I can see a very easy way in which PSG.LGD win.
Is it just the time that OD will just get stronger and stronger?
Yeah, I think OD's going to be really good against all these heroes.
Yeah. I mean, you got it combined with a Wisp where you're already kind of amping up this hero by giving him an extra 140 attack speed. And really, attack speed is all that an OD needs.
Yeah, plus FY's got a mech himself. They just aren't really looking for fights right now, so their lineup looks really bad. Because if your lineup gets jumped on and you have Wisp Disruptor, it's never going to look too good.
Yeah.
PSG.LGD's lineup looks better when they're the ones hunting.
And they did not have the early laning phase that would allow you to do something like that. Boxy, a quick blink backwards. Chalice is able to follow up here. Pull him back in with a glimpse into the Static Storm. Don't let him get the chance to get off that arena. They need to try and focus him down, but the disarm on the OD is actually slowing things down considerably. But Alliance is not looking to bail this fight out. They're going to let Boxy die again here.
Oh, and you've got to be careful if you're Insania here. In fact, it'll be okay as they do spread out a little bit to farm, but like I said, I think PSG.LGD agrees. I don't think they think they're far behind at all.
Yeah.
Their lineup is really strong at this point with the double BKB.
And so at what point does Alliance go back to keep on hitting them with the 5-man like they were before? Is it the Ags?
You probably wait for the Ags on the Lina. That's actually pretty massive.
Okay.
To be able to begin the fights.
And our Sven will have a Daedalus soon. Well, relatively soon. He just picked up the Crystallis.
At some point, I think he needs the Lincolns.
Yeah.
You get BKB and Lincolns, you feel real good in this game as PSG.LGD. They're gathered around this mid tower. Alliance, I mean, it looks like they're not willing to fight. I think this is a little bit of a mistake, and they should be looking for an
just now
engagement
coming
here.
back up. Madara tries to make his jump in. Immediately there's going to be the imprisonment. They do have the arena. Grabbing the two
nice
supports here.
arena.
The spear into that Bloodseeker. He's going to be in trouble here. Pops his BKB. Going to be helped saved by FY, but now it's Maybe who's in trouble. Trying to get away from Madara, but the physical damage is just too much for him to handle. LSA actually clips him as the BKB fades away on the Bloodseeker. They're going to follow it up with the Stormbolt as well. Meanwhile, they managed to get the Terrorize onto Chalice, so he bro strikes through the Lina, but he's hit by the Shadow Realm swing. FY will die as well. That's LGD wiped from the map as Alliance get vengeance for that mid-tier 1 tower going down.
Boxy has been Chalice's bane.
Oh, yeah.
And they might finally go for a Roshan in this game because he had such a sick epicenter queued up. You're going to see in this team fight right here, he pops the arena. He understands. At first, he looks like he wants to go. He turns on a dime. At first, he was going to just blow up X Nova. He sees the epicenter coming through. That ends any chance of a fight. Right there, you also see the OD thinking about dropping the ultimate, but full retreat mode. And a lot of the BKB charges have been used, by the way, on this Bloodseeker and OD at this point. And they were relying heavily on Chalice being able to hit that epicenter over the top. Instead, they lose 5 heroes. They're going to lose Roshan for this too. This is going to be a 10k lead for Alliance.
Is this the first Roshan of the series?
Yes, it is.
It is the first Roshan of the series.
The Lina Ags, by the way, made such a big difference in this engagement.
Oh, the OD was so low.
He immediately just had a turn.
Yeah.
Being able to catch the backline with the 2 heroes against the Mars ulti, even though they weren't able to kill Chalice immediately, being able to stop the majority of the damage of the epicenter.
Yeah. From that point, it only takes like 1 or 2 swings from Madara. And that was I think that was his 9-second BKB. So when he shows up at a team fight, like you as the OD just has to keep running.
That was the scary part, because Maybe popped his BKB at the same time. Yeah. And you could tell he was like, I really want to ult. but he just sees one glowing target. The rest of the team is in the bottom half of the map. There's no real angle for him, which also makes it awkward for Ame because he relies on that damage from that ulti to bring everybody a little bit lower so that he can just kind of run around at max move speed, which then makes the Wisp's life a lot easier. He can just tether to the Bloodseeker, and they can run around together.
It's all like a lot of this comes down to initiation, right?
Yes.
Like they need to be able to lead off with the Rupture onto Madara to make sure he can't get on top of the opposing cores and do that. I have BKB God Strength and just swing at people. They're going to leave FY behind Tears. He does get caught by the rotation from Alliance, but they don't get any cores.
It's if Alliance is able to make the initiation, again, I can't stress this enough, PSG.LGD's lineup is not meant to backpedal.
No.
It is meant to be an offensive, we're going to run at you first, we'll pop somebody, get somebody low, because you want that thirst to kick in as fast as you can. So your Bloodseeker just starts like creating tempo, and your Disruptor's catching stragglers that don't have BKB quite yet. But the scary part of the game is when everyone starts to get BKB. When Boxy gets his own BKB, then Chalice's game becomes very one-dimensional.
Only one Tier 2 remaining for PSG.LGD. Good play by Maybe.
That's now a 6-second BKB.
Does manage to get out even if he loses the BKB charge. He's got a Scythe coming in soon, but it is definitely going to hurt them not having these long duration magic immunity timings.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Boy, Chalice is just so poor. He's got a Crimson Guard double bracer.
Yeah, Boxy did a number on him.
He's supposed to really help his team, kite around this Sven by being able to find the initiation.
Yeah, if he's got like 3
Rupture.
items and he's got even net worth to this Mars, he can do that. That's the thing. Like, imagine he has like one more item. Maybe he gets like Crimson or something. Yeah. You're able to just reset the fight. Because that's the thing is that Sand King, you want items on this hero because of his high amount of just like spell casting.
Yeah.
And you're given this disengage tool with your Sandstorm, with your stun, with your blink. You're able to just kind of continue the fight, even despite the fact that people have BKBs. But when you're this far behind in the game, it doesn't feel that good. You don't have a Yule Scepter plus a Crimson Guard plus a Blink Dagger. You sort of have to choose which direction you're going to go for and hard commit to it.
It's funny how PSG.LGD, it's like they almost both want the initiation, but they also want the fights to like draw out.
Yeah. It's just an awkward situation for them without the Hex as...
Oh, this is a big pick off with Boxy coming in from the side to finish off with the spear. Mickey found a beautiful pickup on that Bloodseekers. Now down for 60 seconds. 60 seconds they can make a play.
An Invis. Yep.
Yeah. Now the Disruptor's going to get picked off as well. PSG.LGD did not expect this fast of a rotation from Alliance at this bottom lane where they were just showing it top.
I love how much disrespect they're showing PSG.LGD, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like, even though we're 0-4, we're not a free win. And, I mean, they look like a completely different team to them. Fair play.
Even though we're showing 2 cores in top lane, that doesn't mean that we can't fight you at bottom right away.
This game is not safe for you guys.
No matter where you go, there is going to be that Scythe now. Maybe that'll be the game changer for PSG.LGD, as right now, Alliance is knocking on the doors of the high ground.
And there's still 40 seconds on this Aegis, and it'll most likely lead to the tower. You would want Alliance to back out now because they don't have God Strength. The Aegis is about to fade. This is where you reset a little bit. And this is maybe where you find an opportunity if you're PSG.LGD, because the Hex initiation is going to be very strong right now. Alliance is not going to quite expect it. Somebody's going to jump in, not pop BKB fast enough, and just go down in 2 seconds.
They're going to smoke up into the high ground here, but Boxy is already in position, so they can't go through there.
But maybe they find Mickey here.
Straight through mid. Mickey, oh no! He was just trying to kill a creep wave, and instead he hits multiple heroes of LGD with his LSA. And now that smoke has been spoiled, Alliance going to try and sandwich in here, but the Rupture's already laid onto Boxy. Boxy puts himself into a corner here. Now throws down the arena. They try and initiate with the Stormbolt. Instead, they do manage to get FY, but he's going to be saved by the imprisonment. Now the Lena's in trouble. Oh no! So much intelligence being going into that OD, and the BKB is worn out from Boxy, but maybe it's enough for him to be able to catch FY here. Manage to barely live with the spear. Madara still going for the back line, but he gets glimpsed away. X-Nova Nova's going to be able to survive as well. He actually throws down this Static Storm to make sure there's no stun, and now the support's going to get caught. His Boxy's going to fall here. Taiga's getting cleaned up. Here comes Ame, zooming around the map, looking for Insania, the captain of Alliance, who's going to pop the Shrine, see if he can burrow strike his way out of here. And he just might make it. The Wisp Balls are going to find him eventually here. Chalice does too. That's 4 dead from Alliance, all in exchange for just an OD because, I mean, look, those supports, man, they kited around the cores beautifully.
Oh yeah, for sure. The fact that they were able to extend it for that long, Madar's time was wasted. He thought he was just going to get 2 easy pickoffs. But he has to protect his Lina, who doesn't have the BKB. And that's what I was talking about. That bottom fight, as soon as the Aegis fades out, PSG.LGD, they have to utilize their Hex. They have to look for some sort of engagement. They do. They find it on the Lina, the one target that doesn't have the BKB for herself. She has so much distance, though, with the cast range talent and the Aether Lens that you've got to be more careful than that.
Yeah.
Mickey has had way too free of a time in this game, and so he just continues to sort of play like, well, nobody can disable me. I'll just play with my Yules and back up. But
that was maybe like too disrespectful.
Yes.
He was playing with a little bit too gumption there. Now that he's learned his lesson, though, how is Alliance going to restructure how they play team fights?
Well, you have to protect your supports, and you can't get that separated. Because I think they got, like you said, a little bit too
they tried to sandwich and,
Yeah, they were just like, well, every fight's gone well so far. Like, let's just kill everybody. But, there are items for control now. You've got the double Bloodseeker Rupture, which I think is very good against the BKBs of Alliance. And you want to make sure, if you're PSG.LGD, that you split up the fight. You make the fight look like that. You immediately burst somebody. Thirst kick in. Let it kick in. Let Ame just kind of create chaos and havoc.
Whether it's the Burrow Strike, the Kinetic Fields, the Ruptures, the Imprisonments, there's all these kiting mechanisms that PSG.LGD has. Most of them definitely start kicking in once the BKBs have worn themselves out. So Alliance got to play this timing very careful if they want to be able to solidify a nice 2-0 against LGD. They're going to be able to bring down the Shrine, taking advantage of the tier 3 they took earlier. They may just have to wait out Roshan number 2. Just try and control the map as much as possible. Build more of a net worth lead off of bounties and such, which you can see they've had a hefty lead on for most of the game.
That is significant. That's like half their net worth lead.
I'm sorry, is that the 5-minute bounty rune? Did they get all 4?
That's 15 minutes. Boxy's
Okay.
looking for right now is X-Nova. A little bit isolated, but he's going to cut his team across, and Alliance is still holding this high ground area. Both teams in such a tentative position because, it really just does take one team fight for LGD to suddenly be even in this game.
Yeah.
They take one good team fight, you get an Aegis. Who knows?
They've got more tools for that with a Kaya Yasha really increasing the damage that maybe can lay out, as well as a Lotus Orb for the Sand King. Another really good, pseudo kiting mechanism. There's a lot of single target stuns and stuff. You can remove the Curse Crown. Not quite sure what X-Nova was doing there.
Okay, you just.
Yeah, it looks like maybe he was getting down vision.
Yeah. And then they just ran him down because they had their own vision.
Because they have a ward all over the place when it comes to that mid lane. They've won by the base, they've won by the river.
And Alliance right now, they're just simply looking for the next Roshan, I think.
Yeah.
That is your Hex counter. So they're going to secure some of these shrines. And both of them here. And
they're going to go for the arena jump from Boxy. Minutes to nail the OD. They're trying to protect him with a Wisp. He tries to go for the relocate, but he doesn't make it in time. And there's no buyback either. Ame is now Lotus Orb ruptured himself as well. They could go for him if they want to, but Insania is going to take the time to head back to base and heal. They're going to wait for the Wisp to come back in. Okay, that wasn't quite the spear timing you wanted, but there is going to be the Yules to stop that tether.
The epicenter.
Over to the side. They do have the epicenter Burrow Strike on it too. That does a lot of damage, but Ame still low enough that he can't actually follow it up. Sandstorm out. Chalice is decently tanky, but against all 4 of Alliance here, they're just going to spear him back and run away. Alliance, that was close to like a game-ending fight there, but fortunately, I think Chalice really helped save the day by just doing enough damage to make sure Alliance can't go for more.
That gives you at least the reset, but it looks like they're going to go back in. Ame.
Oh, no, he can't die here like this. He's going to be controlled up in the telekinesis.
He's lifted for so long.
Right click coming in with the Dark Willow. He is dead. 80 seconds.
Your team was dead, and they're going to catch more, possibly.
Chalice brambled up for a minute, but
And if you're
on
Alliance,
the high
now
ground.
is the time, even though I am excited. You are a professional Dota team. You have to reset yourself. You know that Roshan is a target. Last game, I know you didn't give a hoot about it, but this game, just grab it. As we're going to see here once again, the Mars blinking in with impunity gets the perfect target.
That is the best situation for Alliance and the worst for PSG.LGD.
Oh, absolutely. If
Like
that's Ahmed
anybody
that gets
else,
caught by that spear, he gets astraled and they reset.
yeah. And if
this
maybe he's
again.
fast enough with his BKB, then the initiation doesn't matter. But
Oh, Ame, this was so greedy.
they've been disrespecting you all series long.
You show a hero, they get a kill as Taiga.
The Blink initiation, the Blink Yules, Brambles, Curse Crown, and bye-bye Disruptor. Now Dark Will may be in trouble here.
Does he buy back too? No, in fact, they're going to save it, and Mickey makes the call. He says team back.
Yeah, chill.
That has been a lot of buybacks on the side of PSG.LGD. They use one on their Bloodseeker. They use one on their Disruptor.
Oh, props to Alliance, though. I would be tempted to say go
Oh,
for it, because
yeah.
that Sven had a double damage at that time.
That's why I was...
Yeah.
For a second, I was like... But again, I feel like I've seen this movie before by teams like Alliance and Cole. It's like your head, so you start to feel it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it materializes in your head that you're beating a team like PSG.LGD. You look at the scoreboard, you know, you're getting a little bit amped. You know you're like 20K-ish ahead, and then that's how you make sloppy moves. And a superior team, you know, you get hexed on the wrong target. All of a sudden, your Lena's dead, and he has to buy back to try to salvage the fight. And PSG.LGD is backing up, and you're chasing too far in.
Been reading all those Reddit comments that say Alliance is back, lol. Show you guys. We're about to 2-0 LGD. Oh no. Satanic soon for Mars. With an 8-second BKB still. PSG.LGD, meanwhile, I think I saw an AC for the Bloodseeker that's almost here. That is a gigantic upgrade for him because he is still very scared of that Sven. But once he gets an armor upgrade, it might help. Boxy sees an opportunity to get the OD, but he blinks away. This time, maybe was fast enough.
Come on, man. That guy's maybe.
Oh, okay, force out the BKB.
Oh, they're going to catch...
And they're still going to catch maybe this Dark Will, who does manage to get out the Shadow Realm. That is going to be ruptured up. Okay, just keep running forward with that Lotus Orb and see if they can get him with a Scythe. But that is still a Sven. You can't actually beat him down. He still has the Aegis as well. Now the OD has to imprison himself. Mickey is going to sit on the side here, see if he can set up for that one. But Ame makes sure to run in, help protect maybe. Maybe he's actually trying to deal with Boxy right now. Just drops his open, trying to deal some damage.
The rupture.
Boxy is going to be able to get the Burrow Strike on through to finish up him behind. Finally, the Mars dies, yes, but Madara is just beating down Chalice. It's going to turn on Ame as well. They're trying to boost the travel in. Look at Mickey. He cuts off the retreat. He's going to be able to find the Disruptor as well. PSG.LGD. They have no buybacks left pretty much. It's going to be a Sand King West, and that's it.
And that was the stolen rupture from Insania that makes that fight so hard for PSG.LGD to fight. And now this might just be game. There's no buybacks. The immediate buyback from Boxy is the lift on lift action, but the stuns are going to start flying through. They don't care. They just want this kill on the Chalice. But instead, he's going to reset things a little bit.
That's what Chalice wanted. He wants them to go on him and waste time, but not quite kill him.
Oh, but Boxy might just have different
Boxy's
ideas.
got the hard initiation onto the Wiz. He's going to finish off this pesky support, who's now down for 100 seconds. Now it's just Chalice, alone with his thoughts.
They're going to go for it.
As Alliance moves past the middle lane of Barracks, they know all they have to do is hit tier 4s. Eventually, Chalice will pop his head out. They'll cut it down. They'll spear him straight to the Ancient, which they're about to destroy. To 2-0 LGD. Alliance had a rough start to this tournament. But this is a great comeback
This
indeed.
was impressive. Like, you know, let's just get it out of the way. They were not behind in any part of the game in either of the games.
No.
They led the game, both games, like the entire time.
Yeah.
There was no, they got this like lucky break. They actually just sort of dominated. The only reason why we talked as if the game was going to be close was because we thought that PSG.LGD was so good and Alliance looked so shaky yesterday that we were waiting for a potential inevitable collapse. It just never came.
Yeah, I felt like there was moments where there could have been that collapse. Game one, it was a little out of the way, but you know, at the very end, there was that one moment where PSG.LGD are actually getting aggressive on Alliance's side of the map. Here in this game, it was the Scythe pickup from the OD. You saw like a crack where like lesser teams may have actually broke in that position, but Alliance, they stay strong. They manage to hold on to a game that they won handedly in both Game 1 and 2. Wonder performance by them. Looking forward to seeing much more as they are a better team than that 0-4 start in Day 1. We'll see what happens next here at ESL One Birmingham.
Thank you very much, Cap and Blitz there on the commentary. Fantastic result for Alliance after a lot of play and a lot of fantastic plays between these two teams. It's ended 2-0 to Alliance after going 0-4 on Day 1 and PSG.LGD going 3-1 on Day 1. They're now at 3-3 and Alliance are back in contention for a place in the main bracket. What a terrific set of performances. We've got Kyle and Toby here to break down game number 2. How do you summarise the series as a whole? Because this is not a series that anyone would have had, other than the hardcore Alliance fans had, winning 2-0.
This is what Alliance can do when they play well, when they play to their potential. I felt like PSG was a bit shaky. I think in both games, it was similar to the... what was the first game of today? It was OG TNC? Who was playing TNC?
Yeah, TNC OG, yeah.
Yeah. Where the first game... OG just like they had such a slow lineup. I'm like, you don't beat TNC this way. You don't be in a position where you actually can't do anything to win fights for the first 30 minutes. But PSG, you got to be willing to fight them, to battle.
But they didn't learn the lesson from the first game.
No, they did not. They actually picked arguably even in an even slower lineup, and it felt like they could turn it around. But like that game was Alliance's through and through. All they had to do was not fumble it.
Yeah, I mean, Toby, we're just for some context here for casual viewers. We're talking about a former great. We're talking about a team, Alliance, who won TI3, who have all that history and legacy around them. But these 5 players are brand new to this team. The only connection to that team is the coach. Is Loader, right? Yeah. So we're talking about a very different team. We're also talking about PSG.LGD, who finished 2nd at TI last year with this lineup.
Yeah. But
that just lost 2-0 to Alliance in a very competitive tournament.
But it's that thing, right? Like I think Kuro has actually spoken publicly about this, where like when you have the same lineup for a long time, you become very predictable, you become very stale. You need that fresh blood that comes in that does something different that's very difficult to predict for other teams. And this is something that LGD, you look at them and it's like, well, in some ways they're a little bit more unpredictable. Like they're playing many different heroes, but it also feels like they don't have a grip on this new patch. That's nothing against them. It only came out a couple of days ago.
Sure.
But at the same time, their synergy just as a squad of 5 really seems to be off. And that's where Alliance really pays off. Like, they've stuck together for so long that they had to eventually, like, click.
They are using a stand-in.
They are definitely using a stand-in with Madara.
Yeah.
But the other 4 seem to have clicked, and they're just going to give it. Yeah, thanks, man. But like Madara is just doing his job right. Like he's playing the same role that when Black joins a team he does. He's just farm up and kill everyone when the time is right.
And watching Alliance play, you forget that they're using a stand-in because they've done such a great job incorporating Madara onto these
absolutely. And I want
to
give this some context too. 82 kills against PSG.LGD across the series in the 2-game series with a stand-in.
Sure.
That doesn't matter what team you are. That's impressive.
But it's also, I mean, look. They're not TI favorites now, and I'm not trying to take anything away from it. But like, let's see if they can do it again before we crown them the new champions of ESL Birmingham.
But my point is that I want to give them credit where it's due. I know it's a one-off. I know it's a one-off series, but to beat this kind of quality team is going to give them so much confidence.
I hope so, but it's group stage. And at the end of the day, no one's going to remember this if Alliance isn't playing on finals weekend. So, good. It's a sign of things to come.
We still have to remember they were 0-4 before they started this. And like Blitz put it perfect. Like, this is just a different team today. Yeah. But who do you get the next day? Like, this is the same reason, like, it was all this Alliance and Na'Vi is back shit. Like, you just don't believe it.
Right.
Until it happens multiple times in a row.
Okay, we've not quite converted them to full believers yet, but I think they might be paying a few entrance fees to the Church of Alliance. Let's get some views now from the main man himself, and I'm sure he's very happy. And Sani is talking right now to Shiva.
Thanks, Paul. Insania, that series was crazy. My first question is, why can't you guys play like that every time?
We have this saying in our team where it just depends on which side of bed we wake up on. Some days we wake up on the right side of bed and things just work out, and other days, like day one. No, but the reality is we had one day to scrim with Madara, and Mickey has been playing carry and not mid. Even though he's a great mid player, like the structure in the team kind of was thrown off a bit. So yesterday we had like a long talk for like an hour or something after the series, and we sorted a lot of it out, and we watched a lot of what the other teams are doing and try to like get some new ideas about how we could make our team function.
So good team talks is what the biggest change was between yesterday and today?
Yeah, for sure. Like discussing a lot of things that when we played with our original roster was very natural and things that you don't really think about, but it needed to be brought up again and restructured so we could go into these series feeling confident. Yeah.
Now, I must say, this second game did have a moment where we all like, okay, you know, here we go again. PSG.LGD making a comeback. How was that for you guys?
We were very excited. We've never beaten LGD before, and we respect them a lot. So excitement levels are very high. But yesterday against Keen Gaming, we experienced a similar thing where we got super excited because we were doing very well. And I was like, guys, just take some deep breaths, calm down, relax. We're still fine in the game. We gave them some kills, but it doesn't matter. We're still in control. You know, we got this game, and God bless my team listened, and everyone calmed down, relaxed, focused again, and we just went straight back on track.
Yeah, it looked amazing. I'm going to wish you good luck. I'm going to let you get back to your team because I know you got another match to play. And I hope to see more of Alliance on the main stage. Thank you for taking the time. Back to you, Paul.
Fantastic, well done. Congratulations to Insani and his teammates as well. They go to 2 and 4, and that might not sound that much, but other results have kind of gone their way in the group as well. EG have won their match 2-0, which makes them 6 and 0 now, which guarantees them a place in the next round. The rest of the group is so close. LGD now 3 and 3, Secret are now 3 and 3 after beating Gambit 2-0. Gambit, Keen, and Alliance are now all drawing at 2 and 4. The bad news for Alliance is they play EG next. Right, and then Secret. That's the downside to this.
They're losing the tiebreakers against both of those teams, Keen and Gambit, because they've already got 0-2'd by both and thus lose the tiebreaker.
Yeah, indeed. Toby, pick an MVP for me.
Me? Kyle?
Or either of you.
Insania.
Insania.
He was 8-2 and 24. He bought all of the wards, and he had like incredibly high game impact. It's not hard to have this sort of game in a 5-minute.
And he was trying to get his team
shot
sorted,
calling.
and he's shot calling.
He's doing all the work.
I would...
Also,
in a lot of ways, I can go with this. I also think like Tiger did a hell of a lot of work too with his rotations. Like I think Blitz pointed out, like Mickey got so much space in game 1 because of his movements across the map. It was just, I think overall, like it's just a great performance by everyone inside of Alliance.
Yeah, I mean it's team win. They win as a team, and when they lose, man, they lose as a team.
That sounds like one of those teams you used to play.
I'm still on that team, Paul.
He's on our team now. We're not losers. We're going to take a break here at ESL One Birmingham. Congratulations to Alliance. It's still all uphill, though, for them as they take on EG next. Our match, though, focuses on Secret versus King. That's coming up next.